So let us continue the session further. We were discussing the topic of income under the head salaries, and what we have covered till now is four main retirement benefits where tax treatment requires calculation. Gratuity, pension, leave encashment, and provident fund. Apart from these four retirement benefits, I gave two topics for your self-study: tax treatment of retrenchment compensation and tax treatment of voluntary compensation. These two you have to do yourself from the Act. I told you section 10 clause 10b as well as 10 clause 10c. Now, before proceeding further, I will take a break from salary for one class because I want to discuss with you a topic which will be used in salary frequently now, and that is optional taxation scheme section 115 BAC. What is this optional taxation scheme? So I am taking a break from salary. This topic which I will discuss in today's lecture, optional taxation scheme, has no relationship directly with salary. So, but we will use this at various places in salary. So I thought that now it is the time to first discuss this optional taxation scheme before proceeding further in salary. In the next lecture, we will again come back to salary as usual. Now, what is this optional taxation scheme? If you remember, there are 5 special incomes which are taxed at special rates. If you remember chapter 1, there are 5 special incomes which are taxed at special rates. LTCG section 111A, LTCG 112A, normal LTCG 112, STCG 111A, gambling or lottery income 115BB, and unexplained incomes 115BBE. These are the 5 incomes which are taxed at special rates. Slab rates does not work in these 5 special incomes. Apart from these 5 special incomes, any individual or HUF, we have slab rates. For HUF, we have only one slab rate, but for individual, we have 3 different categories. For a resident senior citizen whose age is 60 or more but less than 80, separate slab. For a resident super senior citizen whose age is 80 or more, separate slab. And for other individuals or for HUF, we have separate slab. Up to 5 lakh, nil, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, above 10 lakh. Similarly, for 60 to 80 people, residents, up to 3 lakh nil, 3 lakh to 5 lakh, 5 to 10, above 10. And for V people like me, less than 60, up to 250 nil, 250 to 5 lakh, 5 to 10, and above 10. Do you remember this point or not? If yes, please raise your hands. Others have forgotten. Those who are not raising, either they are very lazy in raising their hands or they have forgotten. कई बार आलस भी आ सकता है. I myself so many times does not raise the hands when I act as a student in any lectures. Anyhow, but you should, so that the person who is speaking knows that how many people knows or doesn't know that provision. Now, what is this optional taxation scheme? It gives you separate tax rates. Under normal taxation scheme, how many tax rates as far as slab rate is concerned, how many different tax rates are applicable? Do you remember the tax rates under normal taxation scheme? Which are the tax rates under normal taxation scheme? As far as slab is concerned, which are the tax rates? Tell me. What are the tax rates under normal taxation scheme?
So for residents under age.
For anyone, simply that percentage I want to check whether you remember or not.
So there's like 4 slabs, 0 to 250, 250,000.
That any percentage like 30%, 20%, 25%. What is that percent? What are those percentages? 5%,
5, 10,
5.
nil 5, 20, 30.
Yes. So under normal taxation, we have these 4 percentages: nil, 5%, 20%, 30%. That's it. But under this optional taxation scheme, we have other percentages also: 10%, 15%, 25%. So this is optional taxation scheme. So let me first discuss with you now this optional taxation scheme. Then I will make you a comparison between the normal taxation scheme and optional taxation scheme. Then you can easily check yourself the option which is better, normal taxation or optional taxation scheme. So let me share with you the worksheet. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is a section 115 BAC. It is applicable first time in our previous. That means it has been made applicable with effect from assessment year 21, 22. Before that, this section was not there. It was introduced by the Finance Act 2020 and made applicable with effect from assessment year 21, 22. It is applicable only for an individual and HUF. This is one thing which you must know. Company, firm, AOP, these people cannot opt for this section. It is only applicable for individuals and HUF. Second thing, what is the tax rate under optional taxation scheme? Under this scheme, what is the tax rate? So we have different slabs and different tax rates. Now, first of all, under normal taxation, we have three categories of individuals: 80 plus, 60 to 80, and other. Under under optional taxation, there is no such category. Whether you are 90 years, 60 years, 70-year resident does not matter. You have common simple tax rate. That's it. So there is no category of individuals under optional taxation scheme. This is first point. Now, total income and tax. Up to rupees 2,50,000 no tax. So that is same. This first nil is same. No tax. Rupees 2,51,000 till rupees 5 lakh. What is the tax? 5%. That is almost same. 5% of total income exceeding rupees 2,50,000. Now the change will start taking place. 5 lakh to 7 lakh 50. 5 lakh 1 to rupees 7 lakh 50. The tax rate is 10%. But how much is fixed? Any person who is covered in this third slab must have crossed this one where no tax is paid, must have crossed this one where how much tax is paid? 2,50,000 into 5%. So that will be 250 into 5%, 12,500. So I can say the answer will be rupees 12,500 plus 10% of total income exceeding rupees 2,50,000. Then rupees 7,51 till rupees 10 lakh. Can you tell me how much will be fixed? Can you tell me this figure yourself? Logically, how much I will write here?
37,500.
Can you check whether 37,500 is correct or not? All others, can you tell me how much I should write here? I want to ask this, how much I should write here?
The third slab shouldn't be exceeding 5 lakh.
Yeah, of course it is. It should be exceeding 5 lakh. Great. Yes, you are 100% correct. Exceeding 5 lakh. Yeah, what I should write in this? Fill in the blank.
7,000 total income exceeding 7,50,000.
Yeah, but this figure. This I want.
2,500.
30? What you are saying? I have not got your point.
37,500.
Yes, 37,500 is the correct answer. Because any person who has covered, who is covered under this slab must have closed earlier 3, and in earlier 3, if you do the total, you will get 37,500. Similarly, rupees 10 lakh 1 till 12 lakh 50. Can you tell me what should be the answer? How much is fixed?
So 75,000.
75,000. Because any person who is covered here must have closed earlier slab. So in first slab, he will pay nil. In second slab, the difference will be 12,500. In third slab, the difference is 25,000. You can check it yourself as on the basis of percentage. In third, 7 lakh 50 to 10 lakh, 15%. So that will be 15% into 250. It will come out to be 37,500. Based on percentages, you can do the total.
Sir, in third slab, shouldn't it be 50,000, 10% of 5 lakh instead of 25,000?
No. Why 5 lakh? The difference is how much?
Oh, yeah, 2 lakh 50. Yes.
Yes. Because we will go by difference. Okay. And 75,000 plus 20% of total income exceeding rupees 10 lakh. Similarly, 12 lakh 51 till rupees 15 lakh. Can you tell me how much will be fixed?
So 1,37,500.
I don't know. I need to check. 250 into 20% 50. We do this total. So 12,500 plus 37,500 plus 75. I think 125. I think. Is 125 correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 125 is correct. 125 fixed plus 25% of total income exceeding 12 lakh 50. Above 15 lakh. So this difference was 12 lakh 50, 250 into 25%. 62,500 is this difference. So now how much is fixed?
1,87,500.
182 or 187?
7.
187,500 plus 30% of total income exceeding 15 lakh. This is the optional taxation scheme. This is the slab of optional taxation scheme. Now, if I tell you the difference between normal taxation, or not difference, rather I should say simply a comparison. There are some things in which there is a similarity, and there are some things in which there is a difference. So I'm simply making a small comparison, normal taxation and optional taxation. Only a rough point calculation. In this category under normal, individuals are divided in 3 different categories. But there is no category. Every individual is an individual for the purpose of optional taxation. Same slab is applicable. This is the comparison, and this was difference. HUF, same here, HUF. So this is similarity also. So that is why I am saying that I'm not telling you the difference. I'm simply making a small comparison. So many things are having similarity. So many things are having some differences. Like in individual, there is a difference, but HUF is same. In normal taxation, the tax rates are 0%, 5%, 20%, and 30%. But under optional taxation, the tax rates are 0%, 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, and 30%. So these are new. 10 is new, 15 is new as compared to normal, and 25 is new. But as far as special incomes are concerned, no difference. Special incomes of section. Do you remember those sections? 111A STCG, 112A LTCG, 112 LTCG, 115BB casual incomes, 115BBE. Whatever is the tax rate applicable under normal taxation, the same tax rate is applicable under optional taxation also. So no change as compared to normal taxation in this point. Do you remember what is the tax rate of section 111A? Short term capital gain of 111A. Do you remember the tax rate, special tax rate?
15%.
15%.
Very good, 15%. Do you remember 112A?
10%.
10%, exceeding how much?
1 lakh.
1
Yes,
lakh.
exceeding 1 lakh. Do you remember this gambling 115BB tax rate?
So
30%.
30%.
Long term capital gain. Do you remember tax rate?
So 20%.
20. And unexplained income tax rate?
So 60%.
60%.
60%. So whether you go by normal taxation or optional taxation, special incomes tax rate remains same. So this is not a difference, it is similarity. Now what? Fifth point. Computation of total income. How do you compute total income? As per the normal provisions of Income Tax Act. But here computation is as per the provisions of section 115 BAC. Only 115 BAC. Computation of total income is as per the provisions of section 115 BAC, the section which I am reading. Under normal provision, I follow salary, PGBP, capital gain, other sources, house property, whatever is the procedure mentioned under the normal provision. But the value of total income under normal is different from the value of total income under optional taxation. So the computation is separate here. Whatever total income I am computing while applying normal provisions of taxation, the same total income cannot be used to apply the tax rate of optional taxation. If optional taxation gives you special tax rates, it also gives you a special way to compute total income. Please raise your hand if you are understanding the point till this. Till this point, if the concepts are clear, please raise your hand.
So in the fourth point, special incomes are applicable in optional taxation also.
No, you are asking a wrong question. You might be asking question, but in a wrong way. You should have asked that the tax rate which is applicable on special incomes, is there any change in the tax rates of those special incomes if you apply optional taxation scheme? Am I right now?
Yes, yes.
Same rate. That means whatever are the slab rates given under optional taxation, those slab rates cannot be applied for special incomes. Under normal taxation also slab rates cannot be applied on special incomes. Under optional taxation also slab rates cannot be applied on special incomes. Those special incomes are having their own rates. Point clear?
So means fourth point, it doesn't change in optional taxation.
What you're saying in fourth point?
So means fourth point is same in both.
Yeah, it's same. So it's similar, whether it is optional taxation or normal taxation. Fourth point is similar.
Okay, so
Just like second point is also similar, HUF. First and third are having changes.
yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Now, so you are understanding the point till this point. Now let me show you one change, or not change. Let me assume an example. Or not example. Here itself, let me merge it in the fifth point itself. Assuming total income is 12 lakh. And this total income excludes any special income, or there is no special income in this. Excludes special income. That means it does not comprises LTCG, etc., etc. It might not be there in the case of this person who is earning 12 lakh income. Can you tell me the tax without any rebate, without any surcharge, without any health and education cess? Can you tell me the tax under normal taxation? And same concept, assuming total income is equal to 12 lakh. Again, here also I am saying excluding or exclude special income. There is no special income. If I am saying excluding, it means I am assuming that there is no special income. Or rather, I should not use the word excludes. I should say that no special income is there. If I write the word excludes, it gives an impression that there might be some special income anywhere else. So I'm saying no special income. Now in both the cases, you please tell me the answer of taxation and without rebate, cess, etc.
So in normal, it comes to 1,72,500, and under the optional, you'll have 1,15,000.
So let everyone check 172,500 and here 1 lakh
115K.
1 lakh 15. Okay, please let everyone check. I don't know whether this is the answer correct or not. So you are, please raise your hand if you are also getting the same answer. Others, please check. Online students have got this answer. Others, please try. Are you getting the same answer? So yeah, others are also getting the same answer. Let me check whether this answer is correct or not. Now see, if you are saying that it is 170 to 500, you all should have asked me a question. If you are not asking me this question, that means you are not applying the concepts correctly. That means you have by default assumed that this person is less than 60 years. I hope you are understanding my point. You should have asked me a question. You should have cross-questioned me that what is the age of this person. You have by default computed 170 to 500. You by default assumed that the age of this person is less than 60. But in future, you should remember that if you are assuming this thing, write it in the question that you are assuming this age of this person to be less than 60. Otherwise, I might get different answer. Anyhow, so answer is 2 lakh into 30% plus 1 lakh 12,500, 170 to 500. Yes, in that case, you are assuming that the age of this person is less than 60. By default, you have assumed it. No issue, but you must remember that you should ask on 12 lakh how much is the tax under optional taxation. It will be 75,000 plus 20%, 40. Yes, 115. It's correct. Now, by having a look at this comparison, can you tell me which option is better?
So optional.
Always it will be better. Always it will be better because this option is giving you 10% option also. In normal taxation, under these slabs, in normal taxation under these slabs, 5 lakh to 10. Normal taxation, I have only one slab, 5 lakh to 10. Rate is always 20%, and under optional taxation, between these, rate is either 10% or 15. So always optional taxation is better. Similarly, between 10 to 50, between 10 to 15, between 10 to 15, again always optional is better because under normal taxation between 10 to 15 lakh, in fact under normal taxation beyond 10 lakh, always 30%. But here also beyond 15 lakh 30%, so I am making a comparison till 15 lakh. Between 10 to 15 under normal, always it is 30, but under optional it is either 20 or 25. Beyond 15, both are at par. But till 15, always optional taxation is better. I hope you have understood my point. I hope you have understood my point. So, let me assume that total income is exactly 15 lakh. Age less than 60. Can you tell me the tax now? Under optional taxation, this is optional and this is optional going on, and first column is normal taxation. Assuming total income is exactly 15 lakh here, there is no need to assume any age tax. Can you tell me the answer of tax now in both the cases?
Sir, under normal, it will be 2,62,500. In the optional one, it will be 1,87,500.
All please check. Let me also check. Yes. Is everyone getting the same answer?
Yes, yes.
Voice is not coming. Please raise your hand if you are getting the same answer. Okay, so now I can make another conclusion. Because beyond 15 lakh, there is no difference between these two schemes. The only difference is existing till the income or till the amount of income is 15 lakh. So what is the maximum tax saving which I can be having under optional taxation? What is the maximum tax saving? This difference 262,500 minus 187,500. This is the maximum tax saving which I can be having. So the difference is 12,500 rupees 75,000. This is the maximum tax saving, maximum. In any case, you can compare it, whether resident, senior citizen, etc., etc. Because resident, senior citizen, they will get some more advantage in normal. So this difference will lower down. So this is the maximum tax saving which I can be having if I opt for optional taxation. So everyone will go for optional taxation. But it comes with some condition. If you say that you will apply for optional taxation, you will get lower tax rate benefit, then Act says you will have to fulfill some conditions. So what is that difference now? The difference is in the total income, and that difference is under optional taxation scheme, so many exemptions and benefits are denied. While computing total income, is normal under normal taxation, but while computing total income under optional taxation, so many exemptions, I'm not saying all exemptions, I'm saying, so there is a difference between all and many common exemptions and deductions are not allowed. This is the loss in optional taxation. So when you, before giving any decision whether any person should go for optional taxation or normal taxation, make sure to compute their total income first, as per normal provision and as per the provisions of section 115 BAC, because the value of total income will be different under optional taxation as compared to the value of total income under normal taxation, because many exemptions and deductions are not allowed. The most common deduction which I should tell you right now is, since you have covered somewhat of salary, how much is deduction under section 16? How much is the amount of deduction under section 16? Flat 50,000. I call it as, actually in section 16 there are 3 deductions. So for the timing I have discussed only first one, which I am calling as standard deduction flat 50. But do you know, when you compute total income under optional taxation, this deduction will not be available. No deduction under section 16 is allowed. So this is a loss to me. My total income will increase by 50,000 by default. It will increase by rupees 50,000 under optional taxation, because normal taxation gives me less total income by 50,000 rupees because of deduction under section 16 clause 1. But under optional taxation, since that 50,000 will not be allowed, my total income will increase by 50,000. So this tax saving difference will get reduced, because more is the total income. Rate might be less, but the moment you increase your total income, the effect of tax saving will lower down. So this is the loss also in optional taxation. So you have to take a decision by reading the entire provision. 6th point. Now one question can arise in your mind. One question can arise in your mind. This option, can it be changed on yearly basis or not? Answer is yes as well as no. Like, what is my assessment year? My assessment year is 2021-22. For example, this year I opted for this scheme. So my question, the question which can arise in my mind is, in next year, is it necessary for me to opt for optional taxation, or I can choose normal taxation? This question can arise, that next year I should go, is it compulsory to go for optional taxation scheme or normal? Answer depends on, so the question now is it compulsory? Is it compulsory to exercise the option on yearly basis or not? Answer is yes as well as no. No. If total income does not include PGBP. If your total income, that means if you are not a businessman or you are not a professional, if your total income does not include PGBP, it might include salary, house property, capital gain, other sources, doesn't matter. But if your income does not include PGBP on yearly basis, I should write here, is it compulsory to exercise the option on yearly basis? I should not write yes or no. If my total income does not include PGBP on yearly basis, this is the freedom available to me that I can decide whether this year I want to go for optional taxation or not. So answer of this question cannot be yes or no. You simply understand this point. If my income does not include PGBP, then this year, if I have opted for optional taxation, next year it's my choice. I can opt for normal or optional. Next to next year it's my choice. I can opt for normal or optional. So it's my choice. But if total income includes PGBP, then there is no choice available. If I have opted for optional taxation, I must remain under optional taxation even in next year. If once I opted for optional taxation, I have to opt in subsequent years also for optional taxation. This is what the point is. If my income does not include PGBP, on yearly basis I can decide. If my income includes PGBP, then once if I opted for optional taxation, next years also, I'm not using the word year, in subsequent years also, I have to compulsory opt for optional taxation. Now I wanted to show you the act so that you start getting some comfortability while referring to the acts now. I will not tell you each and everything on my own. You have to spend some time in reading the act also so that you become comfortable. So the purpose is not to teach you the Income Tax Act, to make you comfortable in reading the act through this Income Tax Act. So the purpose is to make you independent in referring to the original knowledge, which of course you will use it in future course of your life. Is this website visible? Not yet, I think. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
So you can select Income Tax Act, section 115 BAC, and now click it. Now this is how you will read. If you click this superscript 61, I think you can see in footnote you will get this point. INS dot inserted by Act number 12 of 2020 with effect from assessment year 21-22. So this website will tell you that this section has been inserted by Finance Act 20. This Act number 12 was Finance Act. In 2020, that Finance Act was having number 12. Every year this number can change because it depends upon numerical number. With effect from 1st 4/21, it is assessment year 21-22. Now what is the heading? Tax on income of individuals and HO, section 15 BSC, subsection 1, notwithstanding anything contained in this act. What do I mean by this? It does not matter what is written in this entire Income Tax Act. While reading 115 BSC, it does not matter what is written in entire Income Tax Act, but subject to the provisions of this chapter. But this section 115 BSC must be in some chapter. So there is a chapter. Every act is divided in different chapters. So while applying 115 BSC, I will not look into the details what is written in the Income Tax Act. But 115 BSC cannot bypass the provisions of this chapter in which this section 115 BAC is. And in this chapter, we have those special income tax rates. That is why I told you that all special incomes are taxed at special rates, because this section is subject to the provisions of this chapter. That means this section cannot bypass the provisions or sections of this chapter in which this section is. But other sections I will not apply. The income tax payable in respect of the total income of a person being an individual or a HUF, that means it is applicable only for these two, for any previous year relevant to the assessment year beginning on or after 1st day of April 2021. That is why I told you that this section is applicable first time from the assessment year 21-22 because of this line. Shall, at the option of such person, it is not compulsory to impose this section, it is optional totally on this individual or HUF, be computed at the rate of tax given in the following table if conditions contained in subsection 2 are satisfied. So these tax rates are applicable, but it is subject to some conditions. These tax rates I have discussed: 250, 250 to 5, 5 to 750, 750 to 10, 10 to 1250, above 10, 1250 to 15. The same concepts I have discussed. I am not discussing these provided, ignore it for the time being. Now this is that condition. Section 115 BAC subsection 2. For the purposes of subsection 1, the total income of the individual or HUF shall be computed. I told you so many deductions are not available. Why? Because of this. Clause 1. The total income shall be computed without any exemption or deduction under the provisions of. So many exemptions and deductions will not be available when you compute total income for the purpose of applying optional taxation scheme. Of clause, this is how you read or apply the act in real life. No one is going to rescue when you face any problem. That is why start reading the act, because that is the only thing which will remain and not the books always. Under the provisions of clause 5 or clause 13A or prescribed under clause 14 other than those as may be prescribed for this purpose, or clause 17 or clause 32 of section 10 or section 10AA or section 16. So that is why I told you that standard deduction of 50 is not available. Why? Because of this point which is written here, that you have to compute total income under optional taxation scheme without giving any deduction under section 16. Other sections, it might look difficult right now because you have not read the act. The moment gradually you start reading the act, you'll start relating all these sections with your knowledge. Or clause B of section 24 in respect of the property referred to in subsection 2 of section 23. Act always go in the form of sections. Or clause 2A of subsection 1 of section 32 or section 32 AD or section 33 AB or section 33 ABA or clause 2 or clause 2A or subclause 3 of subsection 1 or subsection 2A, etc., 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 or under any of the provisions of chapter 6A other than the provisions of subsection 2 section 80 CCD, etc., etc., etc. The purpose of simply showing you this clause is to tell you that total income under optional taxation comes with so many barriers. This section might giving you lower tax rate, but it takes away so many exemptions and deductions from you. So it is not so much respectful section in the form of tax saving. You cannot say that every person save the tax. Like I never opt for optional taxation because I will be at a loss if I go for optional taxation. There are many people who are not opting for optional taxation. So just because something is there in the act, it doesn't mean it is good for everyone. You have to analyze this. So many other things are there which I'm not reading. This point I wanted to tell you. I hope you should understand it yourself. I told you that PGBP, in case your total income includes PGBP, the option once exercised will remain with you. Do you know why I am saying this? Because of this subsection 5. Read it. Nothing contained in this section, that means provisions of section 115 BSE, shall apply. Nothing contained in this section shall apply unless the option is exercised in the prescribed manner by the person. Clause 1. Having income from business or profession on or before the due date specified under subsection 1 of section 139 for furnishing the returns of income for any previous year relevant to the assessment year commencing on or after 1st day of April 2021, and such option once exercised shall apply to subsequent years. Can anyone simplify this for me? Read these 6 lines, and can anyone tell what these 6 lines says? Read it carefully. Can anyone tell what these 6 lines says? I'm waiting for you to explain. Read it carefully and then tell. Okay, the purpose is not to cover the course only and get marks in the examination. The purpose is to make you perfect in reading the act. It will take some years to get perfection, but at least you will never feel uh, totally new when you read any act.
Sir, can I try?
Mm-hmm.
So this 6 lines basically mean that whatever this section is talking about, 115 BAC will not apply to anyone that has income from PGBP unless and until they go ahead and choose this option, in which case it will be applied to next year's.
Also,
Yes, sir, also.
and second thing which you forgot is that if you want to exercise this option, then you must file your return of income by due date. Point clear or not? This is also written. If you want to apply this option, you have to furnish the return of income by your due date. Like if my assessment year 21-22, what is the due date of filing return of income? 31st July 2021. Assuming there is no COVID going on. Because of COVID, the due date of furnishing return of income has been extended, but I'm not going into that detail. Had it been normal year, I as an individual had to furnish my return of income by 31st July 2021. This is what the section says, that if you want to exercise the option, then you have to furnish your return of income by due date. And once you exercise, in case your income is including, and if your income includes PGBP, then if once the option is exercised, then it will remain with you. I hope the point is clear. Please raise your hand if this point is clear. Not because what I am telling you. If it is clear after reading the act yourself. I will not be there with you always. So if you yourself have understood this point, then only raise the hands. Similarly, what clause 2 says? What clause 2 says? Having income other than the income referred to in clause 1. So other than the income which is referred to in clause 1 is what? Salary, salary, house property, capital gain or other sources, along with the return of income to be furnished under subsection 1 of section 139 for a previous year relevant to the assessment year. Here it is not used that such option once exercised will apply to subsequent years. That is why I was saying that other than PGBP, you can choose the option on yearly basis. Please raise your hand if this point is also clear. Not because I am telling you, I am after reading the act. But one thing I am giving you for self-study, in PGBP also, though it says that once option is exercised will apply to subsequent years, but still there is an exception. In one case, you can withdraw this option. If you want, there is a choice available, you can withdraw it. But that point, you have to read yourself. It is written in this exception. It is written in this exception, if you can see. This exception is written. Let me show you separately this, because on screen that exception is not coming clearly. So that exception is wait a second, let me show you that file. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Now, you can read this provided later on. It is self-study. It will tell you that even in PGBP, if any person has business income, even in that case, option will not be applicable for lifetime. One exception is given. I'm not explaining this. You have to read it yourself. That's all from my side. And let us meet in the next lecture. Goodbye.